I don't know what this post-Oldham been through. Starting to get a little tinge of le crack coming up off of her.
I smell a little crack in you.
Starting to get a little cracky, a little bit. But the whole looking for sympathy, like I said, they've seen these demons too many times. but yeah, ain't too much sympathy. Why? Because there's no accountability. And from the story she has told, we can assume that a lot of this could have been avoided. And we gotta assume because she's leaving out context and there's no accountability.
Try to keep me quiet, I guess, I don't know, but 5 months in jail for some tickets, no human being in their right mind, and I came in there in my right mind for me to leave out 5 months later with bond money to even sit there 5 months. What happened to me in that jail is a lot to talk about on here. I promise it really is.
Well, so are you homeless?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and so how old are you?
I'm 31.
31. And so how long have you been homeless?
For about a year.
About a year? What was it that happened a year ago that caused you to become homeless?
I had a little mental situation, incident, caused me to be kind of not stable.
Kind of like a mental breakdown or something?
Yes.
Okay, what happened? How'd you end up getting a mental breakdown?
Situation happened while I was incarcerated, tasered, shower.
You was in jail and you got tased?
Traumatized by the guards, yeah.
Why'd they tase you?
I mean, I don't even have a clue. I can't even get I don't know. We're trying to see that.
And here we are. Prison ain't no place for a woman. And we say some of these things, sometimes y'all can act however y'all want these days. There are still, call what you want. Should no woman be in prison? And she shouldn't even be going through this. We're gonna start talking about things that can be avoided. Everything does not have to happen. Y'all are self-destructive.
Yeah, that's about the beginning and end to this. No woman should be in prison. Do we have any success stories of women doing hard prison time, or wild and inhumane prison time? I think she's trying to explain here that she was treated inhumanely, tased and beat. They went upside her head, and she sent a shower to blast her with like a water hose. No, prison, the gulag jail, that's no place for a woman. You must adopt a masculine personality in order just to survive, because you're in there with beasts of the like.
It ain't no place for anybody. So even the men, you get men sometimes that act like jail is for or not for certain people. You can miss me with that. Being locked in a cage ain't for not even for animals. Don't nobody want to be locked in the cage. Period.
Seriously, no man at all. I tell you what, I was thinking about something, Gav. It really kind of missed me that shit. I was homeless as a kid. Shit, I don't know why I didn't see it that way, because I don't know. I started thinking about some damn shit. I was homeless a couple times. I live with a couple folks, so I done been homeless before. So if anybody come up trying to get some backlash, there we go. But yeah, I've been homeless a couple times. Goddamn it, living with gypsies.
Yes, and we all got homeless people.
Still to this day trying to see. So
I mean, I know how it could be in the jails. It could be either where, you're kind of being a bit much and they have to calm you down. Sometimes they just are on a power trip.
I feel like it was more of I don't want to say racism, but I feel like it was more, how can you say it? I'm not sure. I was in the shower naked, so, I mean, I wasn't supposed to be tasted in the water. It was in water.
Okay.
So
that happened. How did that cause you to become homeless? What was the result of that?
It's like, after that, it's like, it took me time to start, to really start back talking normal. It took me like months. I'm still kind of have a slight little.
So you kind of like became nervous, like withdrawn type deal, like almost like a mute.
Yes, and I was like speaking loud, like to myself.
Like Tourette's, like almost someone with Tourette syndrome.
And I had to go and, I mean, I've been doing therapies and stuff, but I think it messed me up kind of bad.
Here we are. Just the second woman come on here claiming to be mute and possessed, amongst other things. What is going on out here in these streets, Walker? Can you speak on this?
No mother nor father ever thought this would be their daughter. This is some man's and some woman's daughter. Regardless of whether they was nug and a 304, whether they both smoke crack or not, they never said, you know what? I won't, or I bet, or I wonder if my daughter gonna grow up to be homeless. Don't nobody want to be like this. As I said it before, spirits and demons exist, and y'all need to stop playing. This stuff can be avoided. I ain't had holy answers, but I can tell you how to identify something. These people don't want to be like this. You got to do better. Y'all got to stop playing. Stop playing how y'all moving through life, taking stuff all willy-nilly. Got to do better. No excuse.
Okay. All right. So you had a situation, and I'm assuming that after you got out of jail, I guess, because you had the mental stuff going on, you wasn't able to, kind of pay your bills, take care of yourself, all that stuff.
Right.
Okay.
I feel like, I don't know how can you say it. I feel like through that whole situation, it left me to now. I'm getting back to normal to where I can focus more to do what I had to do for myself and kids. So
I was about to ask, do you have any kids?
yes,
How many?
I have
One?
Yeah.
Okay, how old?
one. He's 8.
8? Okay. And so who does he live with right now?
He's living with a family member right now.
Okay, so he's not in DFAX or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Alrighty, have you ever been married? No? Alright. So let's start from the beginning. So where you from?
I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana.
Hey, man.
Here we go. Once again, another one of my Nostradamus predictions. They coming up from the South and they all north. I've been stressing it. Every one of these people.
Shreveport, Louisiana. My folks from Shreveport, Louisiana.
Might be your cousin.
Could be. Because Lord knows, like me and Gavin like to point out these dark realities. Understand, these come from lived experiences. We know what we're talking about. And I ain't got no problem saying that my family is fudged up. We some old hillbilly gypsies come from Shreveport, Louisiana, and found our way up north. A lot of what we talking is lived, observable, grim realities. Ain't nobody up here guessing. I'm telling you. Shreveport, Louisiana. We gotta stop. We gotta do better, Louisiana. We gotta do better. Gotta do better. Yeah, a little history lesson, a little bit of maybe useless knowledge. Are we aware that Louisiana was built, by pretty much populating this area, Louisiana, with thugs and criminals and women of the night? You can look this up. It's a wild place. Me, myself, I take pride. I take a lot of pride. A lot of my fire come from humble beginnings. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But y'all got to know what y'all up against. Y'all got to know the demons y'all are up against. You got to understand some of these ties that bind. Sins of the father and the mother. We got to address these things and act like they don't exist. It don't work like that. So here we are, coming from the south up north. What we looking for? What we in search for? Let me know. All the steel mills and that closed down. All the juke joints and and the hole in the wall juke joints is shut down for the most part.
Well, they coming north to be Amazon drivers and Uber drivers up north.
Yeah. What y'all they think? There you go. So could that be it? Is the whole Amazon movement and the whole ride share, whatever, the logistics movement? Is that the new steel mill boom? Is this the new industrial revolution, if you will, for lack of a better term?
I think so.
Okay. I can dig it. I can ride that crazy train.
Well, I'm sure there's probably Amazon South, but it's probably much more. You probably can make more money and you go north in bigger cities, Chicago, New York, wherever, Philadelphia, wherever you might land, Baltimore somewhere, and there probably might be more bread to be made as opposed to trying to even find a job in Mississippi, Louisiana, somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
So they head north in search of, I'm sure better living. So even our friends south of the border, you know, Javier and them crossing the border, but even our people, everybody heading north. I don't know. Well, I know.
I'm looking to go back south myself. Y'all city slickers could have this. Y'all too
Man.
fast for me. Like I said, my folks, you know, we old Southern hillbillies. I embrace it. I'm very proud of my Southern culture. You know, yeah. So y'all can have this. I'm going back to the farm, my baby.
Did you have both mom and dad in the household?
I had mom and her husband. Dad was incarcerated.
Okay, so dad was incarcerated. So you had mom and I guess stepdad?
Yes.
Okay, do you have any siblings?
Yes. I'm the oldest. 2 more sisters, a little brother,
Okay,
stepsister.
so you're the oldest. Okay. And so I mean, growing up, would you say that you had like a fairly normal childhood?
I can say, yeah, of course. Come to think about it, did I? Yeah, I did have a nice childhood, of course.
Good
Yeah.
childhood. Went to
Yes.
high school.
I graduated
Graduated?
college. Yes.
Okay. You say you graduated college
Yes.
with a bachelor's degree?
No, that's what I'm working on now.
Okay, so what degree? Associates?
Associates, yes.
Okay, what was that in?
That was in nursing.
Nursing? Okay. Like a CNA type deal, medical.
Before she go down this rabbit hole, that I know this about to take a left turn because, like she said, it hit her all at once. That was like a whole epiphany. Did you see that? He said, and she said, "Whoa!" She said, "Actually, my childhood wasn't so bad." And like I said, here we go, another one of our themes. I said these people are not. A lot of them are coming from broken people, but it's a toss up. They either coming from apps like crackheads and stuff, or a lot of them were just in good homes. There's no in between. You see what I'm saying?
One thing she's pointing out, making clear though, she had a shot at a good, decent, respectable life. She went to college. She did at least 2 years to get this associate's degree. You know, she had some stability in order to get this degree, and she got one child. So,
and then you know what happened? Some evil man showed up in the middle of the night while the moonlight was out, and he ruined it. That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, most likely, because there's been no accountability here at all. You know, the interview asked her how she became homeless. She said, "Oh, well, you know, I found myself getting tased in the shower and beat by police, and that's why I wind up here." Whoa, slow down. Can we get some more context? Are you just all of a sudden, like you just spawned into reality, get beat down by the cops, and now you homeless? Now you got to try to figure this out. Like this some type of time warp movie. No, things worked up to this. And like I said, she just painted the picture. She had a shot at normacy of some degree. The fact that she has a 2-year degree, an associate's degree from college, as she says. And she said she had a good childhood. And I guess she done forgot what decisions have she been making up until this point. She has yet to show any accountability.
And like you hit on a few episodes back, and we all understand she homeless, granted. But sisters, y'all got to stop just putting anything on y'all heads. God gave y'all hair. He literally did, right? So we got to understand these things, man. Y'all don't have to do this. So you compounding the situation. You look even wilder. Okay.
Yes. Listen here, if you must be poor, just wear your normal, just wear your natural hair. Figure something out. Seriously, because this here, you understand, this kind of puts you in a box that you can't get out of. You see what I'm saying? Ladies, understand your allure. If you walk around there just trying to look decent and try to get a job and try to get out of homelessness and show some pride in who you are, because anytime y'all put that helmet on top of your head, to a real man, I'm looking like you really not all that proud in who you are. You are not proud of the way your hair naturally just grows out your head. And that, regardless of what any of you women say, that means something. It means something. Seriously, just to put this wig, this cap on top of your head, that shit looks fudged up. That looks bad.
At some point, it sounds like, you know, things was going right along. I mean, were you working? What did life look like in your early 20s, you know?
I mean, in my early 20s, I was in my own car, own place, and everything. So
you had your own car, own place?
Yeah.
What type of work was you doing at that time?
I mean, I graduated after I had my kids. So before then, it was like I mean, a normal, when you that age, either a Pizza Hut place or, you know.
Yeah, just like some little jobs
Taco
type deal. I
Bells.
get it. But you was just working, doing your own thing, had your own spot.
Right.
Had your own car. Okay.
Yeah.
And at some point you had a child. Was you in a relationship when you had him?
Kind of.
Yeah, well, okay. Nah, tell it now. Tell it. What's the
You know
deal?
how I be. You know how y'all
So it's like
be,
a
you
situationship?
know how women get when we weren't married, so hey.
Okay, so I mean, so basically, it was like, was it a friends with benefit, or was it like?
Nah, we was together though.
Okay, so y'all was together. Okay.
Same house.
How long was y'all together for? About 3 years.
3-4 years, something like that.
Okay, and so how long after you had the child did the relationship dissolve?
I'm gonna be the one to sit back and keep having babies, you know. At that point, I was still young, so I mean, I kind of branched off myself, you know.
So you left the relationship?
Yeah.
So he didn't want you to leave?
I mean, we could have been together. Could have.
So you dumped him? Is that what you're saying?
This is my baby dad. I couldn't just dump him like dump. I had to.
But I mean, you stopped dealing with him as far as romantically?
Right. Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm too many problems, you know. Like,
well, tell me about him. What? Just give me one. Like, what was the problem?
I mean, different. All the women popping up and all that. I mean, you know, a man gonna make it your point to be like, hey, this is my lady, move on. You know, you gotta go. Nobody finna be competing with no woman for no man.
Incorrect. Two things is true. All right. A man's not supposed to humiliate a woman, but at the same time, you gonna compete for a good man. You gonna compete till one of y'all die. Get that understood. So. Listen, she went on to say, I left this man, and your life been downhill ever since. You should have figured out a way to make that work. It seems like the moment you left, nothing went right after. You just said, up and left.
She talking on both sides of her neck. First, she up and left because she wasn't about to keep just sitting around having no babies because she was young. That thing was hot and ready, my baby. And then she gonna turn around and say, well, you know, I ain't gonna keep standing around and women keep popping up and this and that. That's
the lie. That's the lie. She told the truth. She told the truth in the first
place. She did. She said I had that kid. He talking about settling down. I was out here spicy as a tamale. And I had to go give me a fix. I'm telling y'all be having that black snake moan.
And real quick, like a PSA, y'all gotta understand. Not to say, because y'all try to say, what y'all want her to do? He was cheating. Okay. And did she figure it out afterwards? Or should she have stayed and figure? Y'all got to quit. Y'all got to stop that. Like, she up and left, and then us saying that she should have stayed, and y'all trying to make it seem like this was Mr. and this was Color Purple, and it wasn't.
Seriously. And yeah, she said, you know, I'm not competing for no man. As Gavin said, if you are smart and a real woman, you will compete until the day of one of y'all pass on. It's in the best interest of everybody. Healthy competition. Present the world with the best form of you. Then you ain't got no excuses. You ain't gotta wonder why you're sitting there homeless, why you're incarcerated. You ain't gotta wonder why you're lonely. You ain't gotta wonder why when the clock strikes midnight, you know, seems like your pillow be pulling the tears from your face. You see what I'm saying? Present the world with the best version of you. And then you got no excuses.
And quit giving men your wound and then afterwards talking about how he's a horrible, unmarriageable man. That's the net of it. Quit giving them the most prized precious. That finger is not as prized as your wound. I promise you, you ain't. You can cut that finger off and keep going. That wound, I'm trying to tell you.
Like, hey, this is my lady, move on. You know, you gotta go. Nobody finna be competing with no woman for no man. Nobody do that. No.
Okay, all right. Well, you know, I mean, I get it. Was he like a highly desired guy? Like a lot of ladies wanted him?
Yeah, he was that guy to me.
Well, but I mean, obviously the other ladies as well, right? Because, well,
I say so. Yeah.
Well, I can dig it. So, for instance, like, how'd you end up in jail in the first place, right? Because
tickets. They said tickets. Fighting would cause me to go. They
Fighting?
said tickets, yeah.
Okay, so what happened? Who was you fighting?
You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna let this get back into it, but just like you always say, no accountability. Why'd you go to jail? They said tickets. They said tickets. I ain't do nothing. They said tickets.
Yeah. Do y'all understand how that sounds to a real man? He said, "How did you end up in jail?" Her response to him was, "Well, they said tickets." So should I start assuming at this point? Because you definitely didn't give me no context. They said tickets. You know what? Let me break this down. Then she said fighting. So what happened? She got into a fight. Whatever public indecency, whatever she got took into the drunk tank for, and then they ran her name and everything. They said you got outstanding, most likely traffic violation tickets, parking tickets. You can go ahead and sit it down for a little while. If she's telling the truth, if I had, because I must only assume. It's all I can do, because they said tickets. I don't know. I guess I got to assume what these tickets were. I'm going to say traffic violations. Don't know.
And God bless this brother. Like you said before, they will try to deflect. They deflect. They good at deflecting. And he going to pull it out of him, and he stays persistent, and he about to get it out of her, but he had to pull this out of her.
He got every time he got to pull it out, but he good. He's skillful.
Deal with that.
So-called friends, they were saying I was too flashy, or I ain't gonna say flashy, but I try to flex too hard. He said I flex too hard, so I'm like,
How was you flexing?
I don't know. Finna take all the kids to Hurricane Harbor today. Tell me how was I flexing when I was asking. I wasn't asking anything. When I pulled up to drop my kid off at my mom's house, the police called on me saying that I was picking with someone. So how could I pick with 13, 14 females jump on one person? How could that one person?
Did y'all get to fighting?
Yeah, of course.
And so the police was called. Did any of them go to jail?
No, I'm the only one who went to jail, and maybe a few days later, I was tasered and water in the shower. So yeah.
So I don't know when this was. This is a lot of trauma. She said first she got jumped on by 15 women, and after the fact, all the women were set free. She the only one went to jail. Then when she got to jail, the guards attacked her, and she was getting tasered and stuff in the shower. So right now, if you ask me, she first place in the Victim Olympics. I don't know if she's worthy of it, but she in first place. She took off full sprint. And good luck trying to catch her, because she about to lap you off, man.
I tell you what, a rainy day to some people is a sunshiny day to others. She's sitting here crying the blues after this fight with 13 other women. She'd have got incarcerated, tased, and then lost a little bit of her senses. She said crying the blues, but them 13 other women probably cheering. I tell you what, I don't know. Could this be some kind of karma? Because even the villain gonna tell her they side of the story. Talk to me. Everybody ain't innocent. Just because you're in front of a camera don't innocently make you innocent or the hero. No, sometimes these interviews be with the villains. The one sister was homeless. She talking about she done drugged the woman down the street. She lost her job, ended up homeless because she done drugged the woman in front of the house, in front of the apartments. They are in the projects. Ladies, see how far y'all are out of pocket. Y'all sitting here fighting. She pulled up talking about, I just showed up to take all the chillers to Hurricane Harbor. How I'm picking, and these 13 women that jumped on me. Y'all know what it was. Y'all know what this was. She probably was hustling or something, pulled up, showing out. Y'all know y'all get wild. Probably showed up talking mess. Come on, because these broke bees can't do nothing for y'all. I'm here. Come on. And they jumped on you. Y'all need to stop acting like dudes. How a woman pull up and get into a brawl with 13 other women? These are her words. We got to assume that some of this stuff is true. All right? We can't keep assuming everything.
How long was you in jail after that incident happened with the taser?
Man, I had to sit there and go through all that with them people all the way up until June to November.
About 5 months?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had to get whatever ever happened to me if I was in there, I had to accept it all the way until, you know?
I mean, it seems like it's something that was pretty traumatic. It sounds like it still is bothering you and affecting you. I mean,
Yeah, you know.
so, I mean, okay. If I was to ask the guard why he tased you, what do you think his response would be?
Oh, maybe what would they say? I took too long to get out the shower. Could there be a response?
Well, I mean, is that what they said?
No, I'm just
Was
saying.
they telling you?
I'm trying to see what would make a bunch of male guards come to the female side of Caddo Correctional Center and tase a woman that they were saying supposed to be in mental part of it anyway. If I was supposed to be in the mental part and I was supposed to be so mental, why would y'all come tase me in the shower naked?
Well, I mean, it sounds like that's what I'm asking. Were you having a mental episode already before they tased you?
No, I was not.
No?
I was in there. First off, I was in there for tickets with bond money. Why did y'all even torture me the way y'all did anyway? That's just the only thing I can say.
I'm just telling the truth. You're playing the victim
I'm just telling the truth. And the reason I'm emotional,
Robert,
and I apologize for that, is because this is the first time I was able to say
speak.
something.
Yeah.
I've said nothing.
She is first place in Victim Olympics, and she knows she in the lead, right? She looked back and she said, "Whoa, I ain't letting them catch me." And she just full sprinting, and she has no accountability. She's like, "Why did they? What would they say? Why would they tell you?" She said, "I'm trying to figure out. Was I taking too long? Why would they come do such a thing? I had my Dove soap and I was, and."
So let's go back to the beginning of her telling her side of the story of how she wound up homeless. So we go back to, how did you get here? She said, "Well, I don't know. All I know is I pulled up to the apartments to take the kids to some water park, I'm assuming, Hurricane Splash Mountain or some crap. So I'm taking them to the water park. And all of a sudden, I get out the car and I'm being all nice. Hey, guys, I'm here to take all the kids to the water park and be a good person. And they just all of a sudden, they just start jumping on me and putting hands and foots all upside my head. I don't know. And then the police came when I was getting assaulted for no reason. And then I went to jail. But these 13 people that jumped on me, they all stay home. I don't know. Then the police they just took me to jail. And then they threw me in the shower. Then they started tasing me and putting foot up and hands upside my head. And I just don't know what I did because I was in the shower too long. So she just told this interviewer, long story short, she's in jail because she's trying to take kids to a water park. And she ended up having a psychotic break because she got tortured. Her words, she got tortured by law enforcement because she was taking a shower too long. And she don't know how she wound up in this situation. She didn't do nothing wrong.
Here we are. If there's any lawyers, legal personnel watching, there's got to be like some kind of class action lawsuit. This woman got to be owed millions because she's completely innocent. You hear me? She did nothing. And look at all this. She done got jumped on. She got at least a civil suit versus the women that jumped on her. She got a legal suit versus the system itself that did this to her. She should be getting some bread here real soon.
I would think so. The way she described it, it's a clear-cut case. Should be easy, an easy win for any attorney. Come on, any legal counsel.
No, I was not.
No?
I was in there. First off, I was in there for tickets with bond money. Why did y'all even torture me the way y'all did anyway? That's just the only thing I can say.
What were the tickets for?
They say no insurance, resisting arrest. I don't know how these is no insurance and resisting arrest when I was in a rental car. So rental cars keep insurance, right?
Well, yeah, they definitely have insurance. But okay, so the long and short of it, you had tickets, I guess, and once the police was called, maybe you hadn't gone to court for those tickets, you had bench warrants or whatever.
Individuals
so
from the hood like us, y'all think y'all can say stuff and just breeze past it, like y'all don't be moving all wild. She said, I was in a rental car and they said I didn't have insurance. All rental cars got insurance, right? Well, guess what? I would imagine that if you say you're gonna rent this rental car for a week or a weekend, however y'all get down, and that rental company ain't heard from you in 2-3 weeks, a month, they're probably gonna cancel the insurance and everything. You see, y'all be out here driving around in stolen vehicles via not taking that rental back on time.
Let's get more granular. What's going on is they driving these rentals that aren't in their name. The insurance, yeah, it had insurance. First of all, she don't got a driver's license. So she ain't got no license. Her name is not on the insurance. She ain't telling the whole story. Yes, it has insurance. You ain't the person that's supposed to be occupying the car and you don't have a license, and that's why you went to jail. Tell the whole story.
Y'all, listen here. Ignorance from the law does not excuse y'all. And people like her with no accountability, as she has displayed, they think when that cop walk up to their window that they can sit there and run full sprint in the victim Olympics in order to get out of this prosecution that's on their ass. It's coming.
License and registration. Oh, I left my purse at home. All right, who is such and such and such and such? Oh, that's my cousin. Yeah, I'm just driving this car. I'm just going to and y'all just go on and they post say, oh, okay, it's all good. Have a good day. No, y'all know it don't. They be like, they was racist. She first place. I'm trying to tell you, man. She does well. I'm trying to tell you, this woman is an Olympic medalist, gold medalist.
I understand. Uncle Charlie will put his foot upside your John Brown hind parts without you doing nothing wrong. Y'all got to stay out his way. You got to stay out his way. You cannot jump right into his way and say, hey, don't do nothing. Come on, man. Don't make it so easy to wind up in positions like this. That's y'all say y'all staying out the way. This ain't staying out the way. She all the way in the way. She all in the way. Stay out the way. At the very least, just stay out the way. She in the way. She must, that's all I got for her because she got no accountability. So she must just be in the way. Because that's all she keeps saying. I was in the way of these 13 women's hands and foots. I was in the way of these cops tase her. I was in the way. I was just in the way.
I mean, I don't know what was on their mind. What I went through, I don't wish that on no person, no human being, especially a lady in the shower naked. Like, what more was what was on y'all mind? That's the only thing I can see. What was on y'all mind? What were y'all on? Were y'all on something or what? Because for me to get tasered in the shower in water, it's common sense you don't.
Did you like go to the hospital or anything after that?
I got rushed to the hospital.
You got rushed to the hospital?
A couple of times. They was coming in and out there. I had to get shipped to a whole nother facility.
Well, what I'm asking, did you have to go to the hospital for that taser incident?
Of course. I couldn't talk. I was so scared and for my life up in there. Like, I couldn't even say everything that happened to me up in the hospital. I mean, I was just like, cry. I couldn't even talk to them people. I couldn't even say what happened to me, what was going on with me. It was like...
You were just in shock still?
Like, yeah, like, I mean...
How did that make you feel?
The only thing I can say is on this situation, it's way more to it than this, what I'm saying, because it go way, it's way more.
Here's what I'll say for the audience in particular. Two things is true. Because I know y'all come in and say people are insensitive and this and that. But that is not the case. Because some of what she's saying could be the case. It could be true, right? The problem is she has no accountability, and then now she's turning into the woman who cried wolf. So it's hard to decipher this stuff, and then you might as well just throw away the whole story because she won't have no accountability until. That's why it's so important to be accountable so that people can take you serious. Just that simple.
That's what it is. The overwhelming issue here is that there is no accountability. You can't even move forward without any accountability because we don't know what went wrong. This woman is saying that everything that happened was outside of her power. Holy guacamole. You can't live like that. You can't not live through life saying that outside forces have the majority of the influence over my life. You must be insane. No. And that's why this is a problem. Lack of
I had
accountability.
to go through in there for 5 months.
Like what?
Then sitting in the hospital, that little few minutes that they let you sit there and to go back to it.
What else happened when you was in jail?
I mean, I was about the situation.
Well, you never know. You never know.
What could I mean, wait. I mean, it's...
You got a tear strolling down, y'all. Tell us what happened.
All I know is I'll be trying to hold it in because it's so much. Oh, I think it's inhumane. Some of the stuff that I went through up in that jailhouse.
Give me an example.
As a woman, you know?
Give me an example.
At this point, she's just looking for sympathy and empathy. And if he keep on, as a great man would say, you keep on asking her, she gonna say, you want me to start lying to you? Because she gonna lie to you faster you can blink. You understand? If you keep asking her, and if she know, all right, if I just tell them this, the people are gonna start cheering, right? It's almost that's what y'all doing. Stop, because at some point she just gonna start making stuff up and start telling you lies. I'm trying to tell you, or something that could be true. Let me give a disclaimer, but don't open this up for her to lie.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Understand our point of view. This is our point of view. I know that I cannot go steal a candy bar, get caught stealing said candy bar, wind up in jail, and end up getting my beat out by guards and say, I don't know how this happened. Maybe it wasn't humane for me to get my beat out by the guards, but I cannot sit here and say, I don't know how it happened. I screwed up. I thought it was funny. I stole a candy bar, and I know what I'm up against with this cut, with this hue of skin. Must move accordingly. Some things we can't do. Stay out the way. I can't stress it enough. Stay out the way. You see? So you can't just throw yourself in Uncle Charlie's way and expect him not to get at you. However he see fit. Humane, inhumane or not. You don't have that luxury of moving like that. Do you see? That's what we saying. So she is in the victim Olympics, something crazy. Because still no accountability. All this stuff happened to her. She was treated inhumanely for absolutely no fault of her own. Life don't work that way. It doesn't. And from how she's explaining it all, we ain't saying like all of a sudden this ain't one of those instances.
I was about to say that we've had women up here who experienced childhood issues, abuse, or whatever, and they got a leg to stand on. This woman said her life was perfectly normal up until the age of about 22, and then 23 or so, and then it all in the snap of a finger, like Thanos.
She had a man. They had a kid. She wasn't trying to stay around because she was young. These her words. She was young. She wasn't gonna keep staying around having kids. So she left, and things continue to go downhill.
They stood a jump. I mean, what? I don't really talk about it. It's too much. It's too much to open up about. It's too much.
Well, don't open up about everything. Just tell us something that happened.
I mean, that's enough. That's enough. Can't say too much more.
Well, I mean, what could have happened that would have been worse than the tasing?
It got to the point they were bringing me food. They was bringing me cabbage, cornbread, black-eyed peas in the jailhouse. I was eating normal food. It got that bad. So I don't even feel like. They
was doing that to try to appease you?
Regardless of what she's saying or anybody's come on here with any type of jail stories, unless you are 100% innocent and have no business in jail, you can't come up here running the victim Olympics. Jail is not a pleasant place. Why do we have this interpretation of jail as if we're supposed to be there and it's supposed to be just as normal as it was on the outside? No! It is modern day slavery. Y'all must understand. And if y'all don't understand by now, hopefully y'all understand soon that it's not a joke. You don't get privileges while being incarcerated. That's an oxymoron. It's supposed to be as bad as humanly possible in most cases. I mean, granted, shouldn't nobody be losing life, and you should be getting some type of quote unquote normal food and stuff like that. But For y'all to be acting like somebody supposed to be treating y'all like you going to Chick-fil-A, you are out of your mind.
It's already been recognized that the prison system or the correctional system today is not meant to rehabilitate you. That's not part of it. There may be some very well documented instances where they do have some type of rehabilitation system, but they glorify the heck out of them. But no, for the most part, that is not what the correctional system is. And as Gavin said, you should not expect it to be. You cannot expect it to be. I'm going to keep saying it. Know what you up against so you can move accordingly. Some places you cannot find yourself and then say, you're a victim. You can't. You got to accept what come with your decisions. Start taking more calculated risks. Don't just be out here moving all willy-nilly. And that's why we always get back to the kids because, dumb, misguided, miseducated, unloved kids end up this. But there we go. Let's take this all the way around now. She claims she had a good childhood. So all y'all want to be more sympathetic? Understand that there's people that come from worse conditions and end up okay. We got to stop being so sensitive in certain instances because it's just not good for the group. It's just not. We can't keep saying it's okay when people screw up in such grand fashion, wrecking their homes, getting addicted to drugs, all that. I don't know what this post-Oldham been through. Starting to get a little tinge of le crack coming up off of her.
I smell a little crack in you.
Starting to get a little cracky, a little bit. But the whole looking for sympathy, like I said, done seen these demons too many times. but yeah, ain't too much sympathy. Why? Because there's no accountability. And from the story she has told, we can assume that a lot of this could have been avoided. And we gotta assume because she's leaving out context and there's no accountability.
Try to keep me quiet, I guess, I don't know, but 5 months in jail for some tickets, no human being in their right mind. And I came in there in my right mind for me to leave out 5 months later with bond money to even sit there 5 months. What happened to me in that jail is a lot to talk about on here. I promise it really is.
Well, maybe you could expose the jail for his bad behavior. I mean, so I mean, what happened? Tell us.
I can't talk about it right now.
Like I said, I'm not discrediting the fact that something may has happened to this woman. Like, y'all got to understand, two things can be true. A lot of what she's saying can be true at the same time. People don't find themselves in these circumstances with nobody to go to bat for them, right? Normally, these people are telling this story and they have a lawyer, family present, and support. They're not homeless on the streets. Everybody turned their back on them, but yet they're this perpetual victim. I just don't understand it.
We're not discrediting her trauma. Not saying she ain't been through some wild, inhumane treatment. We're not saying that. What we are saying, based on her recollection of these events, that trauma could have been avoided. She could have avoided it on her own power by maybe, I guess, come on, man. Whenever we take ourselves or put ourselves in bad situations, right before we do, we get a gut feeling that this is a wrong thing to do. So before she decided to pull up, however she decided to pull up and try to take all these kids to the water park, some told her, you probably going to stir up a hornet's nest. And most likely that little demon on her shoulder said, I don't care nothing about that. They got to eat this. Y'all, we must mature and move accordingly. We got to start acting like our life is worth something. There you go. Stop devaluing yourself. You know what the definition of the devil is? The devil devalues human life. We got to stop devaluing our own life and start moving accordingly. You got to treat yourself like you are worth something. And being accountable is a start.